Welcome to Drive Momentum, the podcast. I'm your host, Jaime Trevino, and let's rev up your inspiration, fuel your passion, and shift into high gear as we ignite Drive Momentum, the podcast, where motivation meets movement. Hey, what is up, everyone? So I want to start off today with a Chinese proverbs, and this is what it is. There are many paths to a top of the mountain, but the view is always the same. So what that tells me right there for me is that there are many ways to find your purpose or your potential. But I couldn't be able to do that in a short amount of time without a high emotional intelligent partner. So joining me here is my partner, my wife, Gisela Trevino.
Hello. Thank you for having me as one of your guests. I feel very privileged to be able to join you today.
Well, thank you. Same here. It's something that I always wanted to try to do, you know?
That's correct. And this is not my usual thing that I do. I can get in front of many people, hundreds of people, and speak, but this is definitely out of my wheelhouse. So I appreciate all of y'all's support while I do this and I encounter a new challenge.
Well, I mean, same thing for me. You know, we all just it's about the content of what we provide. It's more important than anything.
Correct. And I think that we have a lot of conversations where we always feel like this is something that, you know, could help others. And that's why we're doing this today, so that we can, you know, just talk about a little bit about our experiences. And
yeah, we do have some really good, deep conversations. They're very intellectual and very helps us think outside the box sometimes. So it definitely made me evolve into another type of, you know, level of myself, you know. So, but, you know, what I do want to get started with is, you know, where we started and where we are now, right? And when we started, you know, we were, I was in a very dark place to a certain point. Regarding not within myself, but what was around me, if you will. And then when I met you, I started feeling like, oh, there's something very different about in a relationship with you, in the sense that, you know, I was able to be myself, and that's kind of like where everything started in my life, you know. But yeah. I know that you were in a different place as well, but you were at a more high level place in the sense of emotional intelligence. But yeah, we can talk about that a little bit.
that's right. So just to give, for those of you who don't know us, we have been together for about 14 years. We met back in 2009. And at the time, I was a single mom with my two boys. And meeting Jaime really changed my life in a better way. And I feel like, you know, even though we didn't even know it at the time, we were getting to a place where we were, you know, getting ready to take off to another level. You know, we were both having our challenges and our moments. But like you said, we were in different sort of levels, and I wanted to talk about a little bit about that today. You know, for example, you know, I was already working on myself at the time, and that's because I had already had the support system in place, and I had a wonderful family. I have wonderful friends. And because of that, I was able to already start working on myself at the time. When I met Jaime, he was in a different place. You know, he was still struggling with lots of challenges, and also, you know, some things that that really kept him from reaching his full potential. So as I was talking about this, you know, a friend of mine introduced me to the Maslow's hierarchy, and how there's a hierarchy of needs, and how these things are in a pyramid of sorts where you have to start at one level, base level, foundation and then work your way up. So you can't just start in the middle and get to your full potential. There's steps.
Yes.
There's different things that you need to achieve before you get to those moments. And the thing is that we didn't even realize that now that we're looking back, we see all that evolution, an evolution of Jaime, an evolution of Gisela and our relationship. But it's great to see, now that we're looking back at it, how we were in these different stages of our lives, but we were able to help each other because we had that love and support. Mm-hmm. So let's talk a little bit about...
Yeah, so the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, if you can find it on Google, I'll also put it on the link also below in YouTube and also on Spotify, so you can get that information as well. But it's really interesting. It's like a pyramid, and there's different levels, and these different levels are the needs that we need as a human being. And the way I look at it, it's kind of like a video game. So, if you can remember, since, back in our time, we had Super Mario Brothers.
We grew up with video games, absolutely.
Yeah, so we will play, and then to get to the next level, we had to get good at that first level in order to go to the next level, right? And then we get better, and then we just keep on going further and further away. Well, that's kind of how I see the hierarchy of needs as Maslow's way of thinking, or seeing how he describes it. So the first one is the most basic one, right? And it's the physical needs. He calls it physiological needs, and that could be like we gotta breathe, we need shelter, we need food, right? So it's those basic needs that we need. And then once we have that, the way I look at it now is that in order to get to the safety and security level, which is the next step up, think of the cup, and as it gets full and the water starts coming out, it's overflowing. So to me, it seems like it's easy to get to that next level once your cup is already full from that basic need.
Yes, and something that I found very relatable, we talk about, I work with families, I work with parents and young children, and we always talk about the need to have safety and security in the home. Mm-hmm. That is how the children are going to develop faster. They're going to develop in a healthy way, and they can't learn all those things like reading and math and other things without having that base of safety and security first. So whenever we were looking at the hierarchy of needs, I was thinking, not only is this important whenever you're a baby developing between the ages of 0 to 3, but this is throughout our life. We need to have those basic needs met first before we can do anything else. And it's kind of like being in that survival mode, all the time, living, just worried about how you're going to feed your little ones, or how you're going to pay the rent, or how you're going to, buy them clothes to go back to school. So all those, whenever you're in that state, you're not able to really get to that next level just yet, because you're still fighting for those basic needs within the home.
You're basically in survival mode, and also for the child too. So I remember when I'll be, making fun of myself at times when I forget how to spell something. It's like, it was the school district that, that was the problem. But really as I understood this more and more, the hierarchy of needs, I realized, now I know why I didn't start reading until I was in 3rd grade, because I wasn't in a safe environment. So every time it was like walking on eggshells, going to my house, so my safety, even though sometimes it was difficult, not the school, but being around bullies and things of that nature, even though that was difficult, that was easier for me to deal with than what I was dealing at home. So I think a lot of children deal with that as well.
Correct. Sometimes, like the safety and security part of it, it's the school system is safety and security for them, because they don't have that in the home. So those are things that you look for, You look for having the safety and the security, which is the next level up, is having that safety and security and that support that they need to be able to think further, in their development. So I think that's with everyone. I think whenever I met you, because I had such a great support system, my family is amazing. I have wonderful sisters. I have wonderful friends, and my parents are amazing. So having that support system was already there. Sure, I had to. I had a lot of challenges as a single mom, to be able to do everything for my kids that I wanted to do and achieve for them. So there was challenges there whenever I met you, being on my mom income, but the support system, the safety, that was all there. So I was already, in another stage. So it's safety and security, then it's love and belonging.
Yes.
Of course, I already had the love and belonging because of my support system, my family, my friends, my children. And I was already at the next level, which is self-esteem. When I'm working on my own self-esteem, when I'm trying to figure myself out, my own value, who I am, what do I like to do, what are some things that I find that are things that I want to achieve. That's where I was when I met you. I was working on myself, I was working within. And I felt when I met you, you were a little bit lower on the pyramid.
Yes, definitely. Oh, absolutely.
As I was, than what I was. But because of that, I was able to help you. It's almost like you're a little higher up, so you can help the other person kind of pull them up to where you are.
Yes.
And slowly, without bombarding you with too much, I think that it happened naturally in a way of first getting you up there and where do you feel like you were in the pyramid?
Well, definitely, I was in safety and security. During that time, I was struggling in the sense of dealing with previous relationship, and at the same time, didn't really have a place to live for a moment. So that was the part where you met me. Even though I had a house and everything, I just couldn't.
You had a job.
I had a job, yeah. I had a job, so I also had my health. So at that time, I was focused on working out. I just needed something just to help me feel a little bit more better about myself. During this time that I felt like as a father, as a man, I failed big time. And so working out helped me kind of just give me a little sprinkle of positivity for myself, right? Now, when you met me, I was already working on myself, but it was at a very slow pace because of the environment that I was in. So
Correct.
It made it more difficult. Now, when I do want to specify about something right here, because this is something that I really want to help people understand, and I'm only looking at through my experience. You have safety and security. Okay, yes, you have a job or employment, right? You have property, apartment, your house, whatever that is, but at least you go in and out every day.
Car.
You have a car, right? You have a car. You also have health. You have good health, right? Or some type of good health of something, right? So you have those basic needs, right? And you also have social ability, right? Meaning that you can communicate with others, you can work with others, things of that nature. However, you're still stuck at that level if you're at home dealing with your partner that may be verbally abusive, physically abusive, emotionally abusive. So I was dealing with all that kind of stuff in so many ways. So I still, even though I would always make time to work on myself, it was at a slow pace, And but when I met you, that safety and security, I wasn't on guard all the time anymore. I actually enjoyed coming home. I couldn't wait to come home, right? When you're in a toxic relationship, you feel like everything's gonna be okay, everything's good, but at the same time, you only have moments of good, but then you know that there's gonna be something bad that's gonna happen. So that's how I was for many years. So for even when I met you, I was like, okay, when is this good thing's gonna turn to crap, right? And it never did. But
you were waiting for the other shoe to drop.
correct, yeah, and but as it took time, and we were together, like 3 years before we got married. So that took time, but you gave me that space as well. But I was also very committed to our relationship, in our growth. You just gave me that time and space. But I think you felt, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you felt like I was going to be there to be asking you to marry me. It was just, I don't know. That's how I see it. That's what I felt. But again, one more time, you just really helped me work through whatever trauma I was dealing with.
Right.
And then the love and belonging started coming in. So it was like, oh, this is how a relationship's supposed to feel. Like, wow, this is interesting, right? And it's like, man, this is too good to be true. But then it just kept on getting better and better. To this day, it's still getting better, right? And then when I met your family, I was like, wow, these are amazing people. But I was waiting, like, okay, where's the drama going to start? Who's going to be drunk? Who's going to have to bail out? Who's going to do this? Who am I going to get a fight with? And nothing was like that. It was always just positivity. It was just so much nurturing, so much loving that I wasn't used to. And I, at the beginning, it was just like, wow, this is kind of like, I feel like I'm in Roger's Neighborhood episode or something. It was just so really like, I've never experienced anything that wonderful. And then, but yeah, I mean, because of your family, because of you, that helped me now to kind of start able to work on my self-esteem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that, again, all the things that I had gone through, all the challenges that I had gone through, the, ups and downs, I felt the same way. I felt like, I was waiting for that other shoe to drop. And I think even we had the conversation of, having that fear that, something was going to interfere with our relationship, because we knew, and I say this to everyone that we meet, when you're in a relationship, it should be, a lot of people say relationships are hard. Now, I feel like relationships shouldn't be hard when it's with the right person. So if it's internal, like him and I, we're good, we're solid, we're together. Now, where the hard part comes is whenever outside things try to interfere with the relationship, challenges on the outside, whether it's things that we're dealing with at, work, or we're with exes that, won't let go or something. We had lots of challenges that were kind of coming at us. But I told you, let's focus on you and me. And as long as we're strong, as long as we're in unit, as long as nothing is, happening between me and you, we're respecting each other. We're being respectful of each other. We never say any bad words to each other.
No, never. That just doesn't even, I don't see how. There's just no way.
There's a lot of respect.
Too much love. Yeah.
There's too much love. Not too much. There can never be too much love. But there's a lot of love that is involved in our relationship. And I think that, that's where I feel like, we got to a point where we were able to, support each other. You were integrated into my family.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sometimes, it does seem like they're too good to be true, but they are wonderful. They're amazing.
They're absolutely wonderful.
And it doesn't mean that we didn't have challenges growing up, but it it just shows that we have persevered a lot of things to continue working on having a strong unit. And again, it comes down to making sure that you stick together and that you're there to support each other through the good times and the bad times.
Yes.
And that's what I grew up with. So now going into the relationship with you, I knew that that's something that I wanted to establish for our relationship, is having that unity,
Yes.
that support, that that we were able to provide, not only, you know, like with the children that we have. I have 2 boys and you have your
2
wonderful
girls.
2 girls. And, you know, bringing that together and being able to support each other as parents, as co-parents, you know. So it was definitely something that we were working towards. And but it was so great to see, you know, you really start like you just lit up whenever you were you know, trying something new, or you were working on something else. And I remember just supporting you through whatever it was that you wanted to do.
Yes.
So, you know, when we did get up to the level of, let's start working on high self-esteem.
Yes. Yeah.
Because he didn't even realize what a cutie he is. He is so cute. If you're only
help
listening to this on Spotify, you have to go check it out on YouTube. But he, you know, so not only did he start, you know, just feeling better about himself, but it started just kind of that whole journey of self-discovery of things that maybe you have wanted to try in the past, but now you are actually having the ability to do these things. So tell us a little bit about, you know, like, let's rewind the tape all the way to when you got to that point where you started working a little bit more on yourself.
Well, remember, it was that one time where it was years after we've been married already, you know, but there was this thing that I just couldn't figure out. Why do I still feel like I'm a failure, right? Or I just was, I think I was very self-loathing. I mean, not even hating, just it was up there. Even though I cared for others and everything, but I guess that's why I attracted so many toxic people in my life, and I couldn't do that to anybody. But it was just programmed to do it to myself. And anyways, and then I found out about trauma, you know, I childhood trauma, healing the inner child, all that. And that's when everything just went, oh, I get it now. Like something happened where I have a lot of friends that I talk to, and well, I even talk to you as well, you know, where we have a lot of friends that we talk to. And because your friends are my friends. We're all friends, right? And but like I see that as we evolve, I call it the lens that we see through life, and it just got a little bit more clearer. It's not as foggy anymore, so I'm able to see a different perspective and things that I didn't see before. And that's where it started. I became very obsessed. To this day, I'm still very obsessed with trying to squeeze out as much potential that I have, and I'm figuring out, but I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't have support from you. And the support is not like, you can do it. You just let me be.
Yes.
And that's what it is. You just let me be the person that I'm meant to be, whatever that will be.
I celebrate it.
Yes. Yeah. Same thing for me, you know, for you, like I'm your cheerleader, you know, and I just, you know, because I know you can do whatever you want to do, and we're there for each other, right? And I know that sometimes you think of like I'm doing some crazy stuff, but you let me still do it. You know, it's like, it's just who I am.
True.
And I mean, think about it. I never thought that I would love Halloween. Mm-hmm. And we dress up so cool. We really go really far and out with the costumes and everything. Those little moments, you help me embrace the inner child that I have. So that, as long as I can embrace that all the time and remember that, then I have that youthful mindset.
Right. Because I think that once you were able to tap in, once you were in a place, you know, where, you know, you belonged, once you were loved, once you were there, then you started actually enjoying other things that you didn't realize. Like, for example, Christmas and Christmas
Yes.
traditions and holidays and spending time with family and, doing fun things like dressing up, but something that I admire about you is that not only did you achieve, for example, you're now in a place where you belong, where you're loved, where you're working on your self-esteem, but you didn't stop there, because a lot of people, they get to a point where it's like, okay, well, we have a house, we have cars, I have a job, a very stable job. I'm done. Now I just get to come home, watch some TV, relax. You're done for the day because you have achieved everything. There's a lot of people that get to that point and they stop. There's a lot of people that get to the achievement of, okay, I have a home, I have a beautiful family, I have all my needs met.
Yeah.
And then they stop.
Mm-hmm.
So what makes you unique, that stands out from anyone else I know, is that you have a drive in you that is unmatched, and you keep pushing forward. And if anyone knows, like what the challenges are that you have gone through to get to this point, they don't realize that you could have stopped at any one of those points, but you keep moving forward. You have a lot of perseverance.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what drives you? What drives that perseverance? Because I'm here to support all of it.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for your perseverance to keep becoming a better version of yourself, then you would have stopped right when we, got into a beautiful relationship with our kids and we have a beautiful home and you could have been like, okay, I'm good, you know? So what do you think, or what do you feel keep pushing yourself? What pushes yourself to keep getting to the next level?
Well, and it's a really good question. I think I've always been like that. I can remember being a kid because I always felt like I suck at everything. So I work really hard at it. Then I realize when I'm working on something, doing something, whatever it is, I start realizing the people that are around me don't have that level of skill compared to me, thinking that I thought they were at a better, higher level of abilities, and I didn't even know. Again, but that is not so much part of my life anymore, in the sense of, I feel like I suck at everything. I'm really now embracing and very proud of what I have, what I do, and what I'm able to do as well. But Brian Tracy, this dude right here, he says, hey, mediocrity basically is, you go to work, and then when you're done, you go home, and that's it. Now, for some people, that's great, and that's perfect. They already accomplished what they want, and I was there for a little moment, but I just still feel like inside my inner soul, there's more to do. So this drive is just so powerful. I really feel that everybody living on Earth as a human being is more than an average being. There is we're more than mediocrity. If we believe that you can, but to get there, that takes a lot of work. But I just feel like there's more that I got to give to this world, and I'm not gonna stop anymore. I can't. Like I'm already at this. Let's just say that the lid on the bucket opened up and it's just not stopping. It's overflowing, and I just can't no more. So I can't stop. I gotta keep going, no matter what challenges they are. And if I don't reach to where I want to be, that's okay. At least I had the courage to do that.
Right.
But at the same time, I want to, as a man, I want to be, as our family, I want to be an example for my children, for our children, that they can do more and they can do more and they can do more, and they just keep on going. So if I can spark that, and I'm good. And if I can provide any value for you, the world, and everybody else, then yeah, I'm not attached to things anymore, to material things no more. I just, no, I love great things, but that's not what identifies me. I'm not just a mechanic. I'm not just a teacher. I'm not just, it's more deeper than that now. Mm-hmm.
And that's what, kind of propels us, because we all have a purpose, and some of us know what that is, have identified it, have it in sight. Mm-hmm. And there's some people that are still figuring it out, and that's okay. And sometimes you may think that it's one particular thing, and you get to that goal and you meet it, and it may not be exactly what you thought it was going to be. And then you start over, you do something else, you look for a new purpose, you look for a new challenge. And that's okay, because that's something that we are learning as we go. So, when I met you, like I said, I was still working on myself, my self-esteem, just making sure that I was the best version of myself as I could be. And, being open to love, and not putting a specific kind of block to it, because sometimes we put everything into a box, and I wanted to be open, and I was very, very clear with the universe, the things that I wanted to bring into my life. And you have matched those, plus, overachieve. You're an overachiever, obviously, because you're even overachieving my expectations. So those are things that, helped me, because I was in, just working on myself and everything. But I really I didn't think that I had more than what I was doing at the moment, which was just trying to be the best mom that I could be.
Yeah.
So that had always been my goal, making sure that I was the best mom to my children, being there, being present. But as far as my personal goals, I had never thought of what I wanted to do with them. And I was stuck in that little hamster wheel of, this is enough. And it wasn't until I met you that I felt, because I saw how you really strived to be, to become better, to do more, to keep achieving goals, that sparked something in myself, as far as like, okay, well, what does that look like for me? Mm-hmm. Because it was something that was always, like, people in my life wanted me to figure it out, and I really couldn't figure it out, because of the fact that my main goal was to be a good mother and be there present for my children, and the job that I had at the time allowed me to do all that. So it wasn't until I met you, and then just in our journey together, that it really sparked something in me to find my true purpose and what was going to be. So having your support in me I would never be where I am today if I hadn't had your support. And it wasn't support in a pushy way. It was support in a, you got this way, where I believe in you. You can do this. You're my biggest cheerleader as much as I am yours. And that's so important with any relationship, is always being your partner's biggest supporter and biggest cheerleader. So I think that helped us. And again, we may not ever get to the self-actualization top of the pyramid, but as long as we're working toward that, as long as we continue working on ourselves and being there for each other, that's where the beauty lies, in the journey. So in order to get to there, those are the things that, now looking back, we did go through all those steps, to get to that. We didn't realize that at the time. We didn't realize that it was to that level that we were getting to our full purpose. But I think that, again, just striving, continuing forward, no matter what. And that's how we
Yeah.
hope to just be the best people that we can be for ourselves and for each other.
Yeah, as long as we work on ourselves more and more. Because, see, I can't, or no one can, but I personally can't be a better version of myself for you. I have to be the better version of myself for me, and you benefit from that.
Correct.
Same thing from you, right? So it's not like, oh, I want to be a better husband, so I got to work. Like, that's not how it works. It's like, become the better version of yourself. And then your partner, your wife, your husband, whoever that is, they benefit from it because you're overflowing your cup. And then because of that, you want to be the best father you can be, or the best mom you can be. Well, you've got to be the best version of yourself so your children can benefit from it. I can't be the best father I can be for my children. I have to be the best version of myself, and then they benefit from that.
Correct.
And a lot of people don't. They're doing their best, and I get it. It sounds logical to be a better father or a better mom, but it all starts within.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody else benefits. And then from your family, then your community, and from your community, everywhere else. And so self-esteem. That's very important, and we can only get there, or at least it's part of the path as we feel like we're safe, belonging, and we have love. And that self-actualization, that's when you really start finding your purpose. So now I'm just doing what I wish I was able to do when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have that childhood. So I'm doing things like doing cool stuff that is like, wow, I can't believe I'm doing that,
Like starting a podcast.
Yeah, starting a podcast. Doing that right there. But then, as I start understanding myself more and discovering myself more and more, and that's when we have our friends and family. Hey, can you help me repair this? Can you help me fix this? Can you help me fix that? Then not only the friends and family, they started helping me realize, oh, I got a gift here. Then when our friends were asking us, hey, let's be a part of this, whatever it is in the media that it was, and they believed in me. And I went, okay. And at that time, years ago, I just didn't want to let them down. Because I never like to, it's really hard to let someone down that I love, right? And so I give it all I got. And then it's like, wow, I just discovered something I didn't know I had. And it just kept on going from there. It keeps on going from there. And it's just not stopping.
Yeah, something we were talking about not too long ago was doing it scared.
Yeah.
Do it scared. Do it anyway. I have a lot of great conversations with my very good friend Belkis, and that was one of the things that we were talking about. It's like she says some things are scary, but you just do it. You do it scared. You do it scared. You don't wait for that moment for it to be perfect. You don't wait for the moment for the opportunity to actually present itself. You make the opportunity. You create that for yourself, whatever that looks like, and not hold yourself back.
Yeah.
But like you said, we have to have that support system, and whether that's a friend of yours, whether that is your family, whether that is a sister or brother, whatever that looks like for you, find that support system, find those people, find your tribe. Yes. And you will find out that you can achieve anything when you have the right people in your life, and when you have the support system in place that you need so that you can go for your dreams.
Yeah, absolutely. Going back to the self-esteem, when I started learning how to love myself, God, the universe, it was just kicking in so hard that I was attracting so many positive people in our life, and then of course you already had that. So with us together, it just amplified, and we have so many wonderful people in our life now. Of course, we always had our wonderful family, your wonderful family. But for me, the friends, I've never experienced anything like that before.
Right. So that support system, those friends, those people that, we just see and we just light up.
Yes.
And we get so excited when we're all together. That is unique. It's special when you find those people that love you and support you no matter what. And, but there's a difference. There's a difference between supporting and enabling. So make sure that you have friends that are supportive, not enabling. And that you have those moments, where, you become a better person because you're around the right people.
Yes.
You're constantly working on things and you don't even realize it, that it's bringing out, all those beautiful things that you have inside. And when you're doing those things, it just gets better and better as it goes along. But it all comes back from that. From
that right there, yeah. And when you start and you have friends there's so many traits that you admire that it makes you become a better version of yourself. Just like what you do to me. I mean, if it wasn't for you, I understand what compassion is now, but you helped me become that. I know I joke about it, but you helped me become a human being.
You were always that beautiful human being. I could see it from the moment I met you. You have the biggest heart, and you're here for everyone who needs you. Mm-hmm. You're Jaime al rescate, Jaime to the rescue, because you provide that support. You provide that support for so many others, and it's just wonderful that now they're able to support you as well, and we're able to support you through your journey.
It's perfect. Well, this was a great conversation. Thank you for being a part of it.
Of course, I'm here. I'm always going to be behind the scenes somewhere supporting you.
Absolutely.
With some pom poms and we got this.
Yeah, we got this. Yeah,
and I'm happy for you. I'm excited for you, and I feel like this is just the beginning of many, many things to come. And like you said, it's just about helping share the things that you have experienced and how can some of those challenges and things help others. And
absolutely.
And hopefully we can do that through this.
Well, you can follow us on at Drive Momentum on Instagram, but also you can follow us on YouTube as well. So it's under 713 JT Mechanic. It's also, you can go through Drive Momentum. It'll show up there as well. I will put the details that pertain to like what Brian Tracy, what I was mentioning. Also Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I'll put that on there so you can click onto it if you're interested. But other than that, guys, everybody out there, what's your drive? All right, then. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And see ya.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Drive Momentum. Keep the momentum alive by following us on social media. Links are in the bio or in the description. Until next time, stay driven and inspired.